Hello, everybody. My name is Julian. I'll be leading the webinar today on October 23rd, 2024. Excited to kind of give you that high-level overview of Mission Control, tell you a little bit more about who we are, what we do, and kind of go through maybe some key features within our platform today. I know a lot of current customers and prospects are always excited to learn more about. I will be occasionally checking out the chat. So if you do have any questions, let me know directly in the chat. If I am not able to get directly to them through the webinar, I'll reach out directly to whoever sent me a question, and I'll reach out directly, and we can get any thoughts, ideas, concerns resolved on a one-on-one level. I'll be able to send over the deck right after the call as well, and I'll be able to share the actual recording. So if there's anything within the video that maybe you don't catch today, if you need to sign off, this will all be recorded and be able to be shared with you and your team easily. So in terms of what we're doing today, kind of let's say the quick breakdown, introductions. My name is Julian. I've been in the Salesforce ecosystem for roughly 3 years now, specifically within the PSA project management space native to Salesforce. So excited to be part of the Aprika team, working closely with Mission Control, helping Salesforce customers leverage kind of say that middle part between sales and delivery, pursuit to delivery. There's that little gray area in Salesforce where there's nothing within the clouds. So we are more than happy to kind of fill the void and help your team kind of keep that whole sales to service part directly within Salesforce. So in terms of kind of say our agenda for today, I'll be discussing a little bit more about who we are, high level about our solution. And then in terms of what I'll be showing you into the platform, we'll be talking about launching a project from an opportunity, kind of that automation and the art of the possible, because every business does that process slightly differently. So I'll be talking about the many ways we can kind of automate that process, assigning resources to projects either kind of let's say either before close one or however you want to whenever you think it's appropriate to assign a resource to a project, logging time, completing actions, and the many ways we could kind of let's say bill your customers, because I guess at the end of the day billable projects are there for a reason, and it's to send out those invoices. um, so in terms of why mission control, we are native to Salesforce. So there's no separation between mission control and your existing Salesforce instance. Meaning, think of us as a layer of project management on top of your Salesforce, meaning um, we're a series of custom objects in your environment. Every record, every data point I'll be showing today within mission control can be interacted with as would any other object within your Salesforce instance, meaning everything can be reported on, turned into dashboards, workflows as per normal. Meaning everything kind of how you interact with mission control is the same kind of philosophy and idea with how you would interact with your Salesforce instance. When we say everything works out of the box, meaning we have a very robust solution. Meaning the idea for us isn't to upsell you over time on, let's say if you need revenue recognition, or let's say if there's a certain type of payment process we don't manage, and we think it would be appropriate to upsell you over time. That's not what we're about. We give you the full solution out of the box. And the idea is for you to identify what's important, even alongside our awesome professional service and customer success team, identify what's important for your team. And then basically, maybe even with a crawl, walk, run approach, focus on what's important. And then you could grow into the rest of the solution where we have it readily available for you. And basically, it's super easy to get started with. When we say no implementation required, we mean we're a managed package directly on the App Exchange. I'll show you quickly at the end of the call kind of how to download us. Basically, just clicking directly on the App Exchange, clicking Get It Now. We will be downloaded directly into your environment, ready to play around with either in Sandbox, or if you're feeling fun, directly in production. We have awesome online learning materials in terms of a knowledge base, user guide, a near infinite amount of videos. Again, I'll be show you quickly into this as well, along with global user support. Our customer success and our professional service team are awesome. And I'm more than happy to kind of always introduce any prospect or any Salesforce client to them because it's an amazing experience working with them. So as I mentioned, we have an amazing support team. In terms of our NPS scoring, we do fare a little bit higher compared to our worthy rivals. So we're always happy to kind of really focus on the implementation and the success factors that go into it. So realistically, we aim for a 45 to 90 day implementation. But in terms of going live, you'll be live within the platform within 2 weeks. So we are the idea of kind of, let's say, integrating a lot of heavy setup is not part of our philosophy. We want you to be live in the platform as quick as possible, running projects successfully and delivering them with your team to kind of engage further with the platform. So something we're fairly proud of. In terms of brands we work with, we have a lot of logos we're very proud to have as partners of ours and users of Mission Control. There are a few other logos I wish I could show here, but NDAs say I can't. But we're very proud to work with a lot of the partners in our space and share a lot of these logos as Mission Control users. So in terms of native Salesforce, we can integrate with every type of Salesforce license. As long as you are using a Salesforce license, we were able to integrate directly within your instance. And in terms of the benefits of using Mission Control, the same concepts of why you would use Salesforce in terms of matching your business logic, having those validation rules, workflows, building the UX that's right for individuals, for teams, and maybe even for the org. We were able to really match kind of what you're looking for and have it delivered within a project format. In terms of who uses Mission Control, kind of let's say our ICP or even kind of let's say the main industries we service are can be seen here. So let's say ProServe, construction, financial services, high tech software, and health and life sciences. The idea is life is a project and anything can be kind of turned into a project and leverage within, let's say, waterfall agile approach and having the right deliverables within the right visibility for your team. And everything you see here on the page, we do work closely with and do have specific recipes for each one of these industries and sub industries as well. So if you see your name, let's say, or you're able to relate with any one of these ideas or verticals, we're always happy to kind of say share best practices and kind of help you kind of reach the success factors that you're looking for. So in terms of a little bit of our mission control history, we've been on the App Exchange for just over 12 years now. Our founder is the CEO, meaning we are one cohesive solution. We've never acquired any pieces or bits and kind of built a Frankenstein-like system. We are one solution. We're proud partner of Salesforce. And in terms of, let's say, necessity breeds innovation, every part of the solution was kind of, let's say, built because we needed it as we were originally an SI partner. And then over time, we kind of started to address market needs where you'll be able to see kind of say the depth of our tool and kind of let's say a lot of the pains that we're able to speak to directly using Mission Control. So in terms of our features and functionalities, I'd love to show everyone through everything here today. But realistically, it'd be a benefit to no one if I were to kind of say feature dump the whole platform because I don't think we have time until next week. But realistically, if there's anything you see here on this page that interests you, or you do want to maybe you want to kind of learn a little bit more about, we do have content directly within our support page online, but also if you want to reach out directly to me, I'd be able to kind of speak directly to any one of these features and share content specific ideas and on how we can support you. And in terms of how we support you, beautiful segue. Typically, what our sales cycles processes look like is first, are we a fit? Discovery call, introductory call, whatever we want to call it. Really understand your needs, your objectives, what you're looking for. Are there pains? Can we benefit your business? The idea here isn't to just kind of sell your licenses and back off. We really want to have like a net positive impact on your individuals, your teams, leadership. We want your business to grow using mission control. So we will definitely try to identify if there is a fit moving forward. Once we identify there is a fit, that's when we go into the product evaluation stage. At the product evaluation stage, this is when we do tailor demos. We were more than happy to offer you free trials. Obviously, I think directly through our app exchange, you could download it into Sandbox, create some sample data, and kind of say go directly into our system. Um, we're never going to gatekeep that from you. We're very proud of our solution and super intuitive. So happy to kind of get you on your fingertips. Then once we identify together that this is a good fit and you are excited to move forward, that's when we start planning out our onboarding. So introductions to our service team, our customer success team. We really want to make sure expectations and realities are met. So making sure that they're not, making sure everyone is aligned on what's the MVP, what's going to be the expectations for phase one. And then once you're kind of, let's say, past that the 45 to 90 day implementation, that's when our ongoing support, we're always here for you to make sure you remain successful and grow using the platform. What I think maybe towards the end of the call, I'll briefly jump into these where we do have amazing online resources in terms of learning portal, knowledge base, videos, campfires. Our team is always here to support you. And if there's anything you think would be an interesting, let's say, webinar or campfire, let us know. We were more than happy to even collaborate with you on it and kind of share the best possible content possible. With that being said, let me stop sharing my screen and let me jump into my mission control instance. If I have it up somewhere, which it is not that one, um, which it is over here. Here we go. So jumping back into my instance, now that everyone can see my screen, perfect. We are now, yeah, exactly. So this is mission control. As I mentioned, it might look familiar because this is actually Salesforce. There's no separation between mission control and your Salesforce instance, as we're a series of custom objects that live in your environment. Meaning, everything I'll show you today can be reported on or interacted with natively as would any other object in Salesforce. And you see, we also interact seamlessly with some other native Salesforce objects like accounts, contacts, opportunities, leads. And then you start to see some of the mission control objects like projects, timesheet, scheduler, whiteboard, which is essentially Kanban, Gantt charts, and all this fun stuff down here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we give you everything out of the box. The idea is we're not trying to gatekeep objects from you, but we're not trying to scare your team from using the tool. Where let's say if you have an end resource who might only be working on projects and logging time, they might not need to have access to all these objects. Where in their experience, it might look something a little bit more aligned with this, where you're kind of more focused on, let's say, just projects, a Kanban, action pad, timesheet, and reports. Kind of tailoring the experience per individual user. But for the purpose of today, what I'll be doing here is I will be I'll be using my admin version and going through that order of operations from opportunity, project, resource staffing, playing around with some views, logging time, and then creating an invoice as well. So what I'll be doing here is starting off from a standard Salesforce opportunity. So this is standard Salesforce, nothing here, mission control. October 23 webinar. Standard Salesforce opportunity. Let's just say today is the close date um, with stages prospecting. Let's create that opportunity. So as I mentioned, standard Salesforce opportunity with, let's say, customizable pipeline statuses. And then you see even some related objects like products, notes, contact roles, partners, all that fun stuff, which is Salesforce. But then you see a mission control object, which is projects. Now, this is where I mentioned we get creative because every business does it slightly differently. So we purposely didn't hard code this process into our tool, but we made it very easy to match what your business process is. So we are able to kind of have that moving forward. So there are multiple ways to launch projects from an opportunity. One thing we do suggest, or we kind of do see quite fairly often, is that if you leverage Salesforce products or CPQ products, what we are able to do is associate project templates to products. So you are able to, let's say if you add multiple products to an opportunity, you're able to build like a modular project based on those products. So it's just a series of task assignments that are creating a project. If you want, let's say, multiple products to have multiple projects, we're able to do that as well. As I mentioned, there's many different processes here. If you don't even want to leverage products and you just want to quickly assign, let's just say, with the project start date today, I want to quickly assign a template just at the opportunity level. So let's say having your sales team just say pick a template at the opportunity, and then by leveraging a different opportunity stage, whatever it is, you could automate the creation of a project. So let's say right now, on in terms of this opportunity, what I've done is just I've said that by moving my opportunity to closed one, we will be able to spin the project template that I've assigned to the opportunity. But realistically, if you are an organization that you think it's important to have you have your project spun before close one. Let's say if you're looking to leverage your Gantt chart, have forecast resources like placeholder resources, and have that skeleton, or even use that skeleton to sell your project. You could do this at the, let's say, proposal quite, or whatever status you're looking to kind of, let's say, have this exist at. But for the purpose of today's demo, what I've done is I've created it and have it live within live by moving it to close one. So let's say by moving this to close one, what you'll see is basically a project has been created. So this project right now is essentially has a set of data within it. So there's duration, time, financials, there's placeholder resources. It could be as granular or as skeleton-like as you require, meaning that if your team kind of, let's say, has these plan, build, deploy skeleton that you just want to kind of you leverage that, so you're always building it ad hoc. Or let's say if you have specific projects that you want it to be as granular and you want it to be as finite every single time, you are able to set that up. It's really kind of based on, and you can even have both. It's not one or the other. So really kind of able to be flexible in this front. With that said, I am going to jump into the actual project right now. This right now is our project object where there's again there's a lot of information, and just like I was showing you earlier with being able to tailor down the object view for individual resources. Let's say for even those resources, if they're on this page and you don't, it's not important for them to see RevRec or a retro board. You could just remove it and have it really kind of focus on what's important for those individuals. But if you look at this page right now, you can see that there's already some data built up here, which show you that there are some actions associated to the project. There's some financials, hours assigned to the project as well. You can have a burn down chart, and even we could maybe even assign some purchase orders and expenses, and maybe even take the expenses down off the purchase order. So let's maybe jump into the actual project overview. So maybe even just start a little bit further back. In terms of our project hierarchy here at Mission Control, we are able to start at the portfolio level. Under the portfolio, you have programs. Under the programs, you have projects. Under the projects, you can have phases. Under the phases, you can have milestones. Under the milestones, you can have actions. And even under the actions, you're able to have checklist items. So you can get as granular as you like here with your work breakdown. You can see I've already assigned time to specific tasks. Again, you could have your templates as granular as this, or you could have it kind of, let's say, more like a shell where you're able to define it in the future. It's really up to you. Maybe even starting a crawl, walk, run, starting off with a shell and going into a more granular approach might be more effective for your team, but every business is rather unique here. You can see I also have placeholder resources assigned to the project where basically helps me forecast that I understand that Let's say within this date range, I'm going to be required to staff 4 hours for a consultant. So we'll jump into that in a bit. But what I wanted to do quickly, because right now we're kind of looking at the project overview, we have different views to interact with the project. We have a Gantt chart, we have a Kanban, we have the overview. Any action taken on any one of these boards will interact seamlessly with the other board because it's all one solution. Where basically, if you do have team members who want to work on Kanban, you have other team members that want to work on the Gantt chart. Anybody can work on what they feel comfortable with, and there's no issue there at all. So in terms of our work breakdown here, you can see that we have our project, which is the purple. We have our phases, which are the orange bars. If you open up a phase, you can see that I have my milestones. If I open up a milestone, you can see that I have my actions. I also have these interdependencies between these as well, meaning that let's say if you look over here, there's a dependency between internal testing and client testing. So there needs to be this lag between internal and client testing. But let's say something happened between functionality and internal testing and get pushed out, everything else will be pushed out in accordance. We also have visibility into the baseline as well, where you can see, let's say, this was the estimate, this is the actual, and you could even measure that delta as well. So we are able to get pretty creative with these boards, and I'll even show you. So where I'm showing you right now is on the project level. I'll be able to show you this at the company level as well. And even today, I'll be going a little bit off script and showing you kind of program management as well with this in mind, if you kind of do understand this concept. Um, so as I mentioned, we have the Kanban board as well, where you are able to kind of build out these like custom headers. So let's say understanding milestones with actions under each milestones. If I want to see who's working on what, right now I just have a series of placeholder resources assigned to the project. If there's any priority actions or what is the status of certain actions, you have everything available at your fingertips over here and can just jump directly into either the project or action. So now going back to my project structure, what we could see here is that this is a project. We've identified that we're ready to start staffing the project. So there are multiple ways to staff a project. Um, we built out some solutions that kind of make it super easy for you. So let's say I need to staff this needs analysis consultant. We have our resource assignment wizard down here, which helps me identify who might be the best fit for this action based on either what team they're on, they have any skills, certifications, any requirements. That could all be weighted out, and I'm able to kind of, let's say, query that and find the best possible people. Let's say hypothetically, I know for this consultant role, because I'm close to the project, I don't even want to work with a consultant. I'd rather work with a developer for this because I think their skill set might be better, or even let's say if I can even just find directly within a skill. But let's say I will search for just developers and who's available. I could see that, let's say on the week of the 23rd, um, who has some time for this one. So I could see Colin Johnson, who's actually our CEO, and I like to put our CEO on directly on the project. So I will put him on this project, and you see now he has now assumed those hours. But let's say if Colin does like to is working on a project but will need some assistance, I could even put as many people as contributors. And you see that right now he has 4 hours built for billable on this project. I could say that let's say Anthony's going to take one, and then those hours get split. So you're able to really kind of add contributors to an action and really kind of separate those hours so the weight of the project gets split evenly. So let's say if I just back out, give everything a call and click save. That is an easy way to staff a project individually. So now I'm going to show you something that's awesome. It's super easy to use, but we might suggest this kind of to start using this in more of a phase two because we have a full auto assignment wizard, meaning that let's say if you identify, let's say certain actions are weighted differently based on certain certifications, availabilities, whatever it is, you're able at the click of a single button to staff your full project. So by using this auto assignment wizard, I'll be kind of jumping into that full auto assignment. So let's jump in. We have our trusty mascot Cosmo, who you see over here getting zoomed up into into outer space. So um, uh, fun little image. So right now, what you'll see is right now I'm able to do that auto assignment with based on whatever criteria I've identified within that match. So I could see that let's say Bethany would be a great fit here. Julian Wilson is an amazing trainer. I want him on the project. Let's put Kai as developer. Jason as not. Let's keep Colin there. Actually, no, I think Jason might probably be a better fit. Let's just do that. Let's put our client and also put Rita as our project manager. If I just click assign, right now I have assigned the full project and those hours have been assigned to those individual users. Click close. Let me refresh this page and you can see that my full project has been staffed right now with those individual resources all staffed right here. So right now, let's do a tool that I haven't showed you at all yet is our scheduler. So our scheduler gives you the ability to kind of understand from a bird's eye view who's working on what and understand their availabilities and allocation. So right now, let's say this is through my team that I staffed, I'm able to look into, let's say, my actions. I can look into the hourly details going into these, let's say by month. Uh, and I could also, let's say, look into financials. But if let's say I want to take a step back and look at this from a company point of view, right, instead of the actual project, I'm able to have that bird's eye view. So this is a resource manager's like dream, having the ability to kind of let's say chop down this information and really understand that let's say Alana Blancard in October is working 150 hours. Let's say if I wanted 150 billable hours, if I want to let's say break those down into weeks. I can see who's working on what are their billables, and even I can see, let's say, from an action point of view, who's working on what. But this page can easily be sliced and diced specific to your requirements. So let's say if I only want to see, let's say, my project manager team, I could set up as many levels of filters as I like. I could even have them set up as presets, so you could always have those one click away for yourself. But by jumping into the project manager view, let's just go here. I could see that I've been giving myself a lot of the projects because I trust myself, but realistically, I'm in the red right now. I'm well overbooked. I'm probably going to burn out. So, in terms of let's say understanding, let's say my hours total, I could see that I'm well overbooked on certain weeks where I need to really kind of let's say break it down, or even move those actions across. So, something that's really cool and obviously given the right context and based on permissions we could actually move around these actions and you see it lightens my utilization and basically let's say within a group meeting I'm able to kind of let's say move around actions for the right team members and make sure that I'm not gonna burn out as I have been doing my last previous months. Um, so this is an awesome tool for your team to use. As I showed you earlier, we also have a global Gantt chart. I showed you earlier the project Gantt chart, but think of this as a bit of like a Gantt of Gantts, where you have the ability to really filter out your company's projects or however you want to set up filters and really kind of say look at those projects within a bird's eye view. So let's say I can see that there are multiple projects here. So let's say the Bandley Industries and the let's just go to Bandley Industries, no, Josh and the Prika. Perfect. I can see that these are two separate projects. What I'm also able to do is set up dependencies between these two separate projects. So we allow for inter-project dependencies. So let's say even at the program level, hypothetically, you get a government contract and you get 17 projects that you need to complete over the course of the next 3 years. Then there's certain projects that can't start before the next one kicks off. This is a great way to kind of make sure those boundaries are never crossed, and you could even have different views to kind of filter them and have access to that information, which I'll be showing you in a bit as well. And just like kind of say these global views, we also have the whiteboard as well where and just like at the project level if I want to understand who's working on what if I'm really trying to understand If there are there any priority product projects? Are there any projects on hold? Are there any projects that completed canceled? And if I'm an executive, I want to have quick real-time access to this information. This is an amazing way to kind of get access to all that information. With that said, I think we do have an understanding of, let's say maybe just quickly go back to uh, quickly go back to our project over here where just to show kind of, let's say, different sets of information, different sets of data you are able to assign. You're able to even, let's say, jump in, put in expenses, assign um, purchase assign expenses to purchase orders. And you can log risks, issues, and have all of this measured at the project level. Something I wanted to quickly show as well, maybe before going further into, no, actually, I'll do it right now. So, right now, now that we have like a strong understanding of, let's say, the project structure, and let's say global views, this is something we're rather excited about on our side is our program management feature. So let's say I want to go into, let's say, a program that I've set up. A program is an amalgam of projects that I've identified are important to kind of, let's say, exist together. We have sets of information that are important and um, can be reviewed. So let's say looking at the project, the total program budget, requirements, overdue milestones, action summary, resource allocation. You see, I'm always giving myself hours. Hours, let's say completed versus actual versus estimates. Are there any risks? Where do they lie on, let's say, the probability impact ratio, the index? And having all this information at your fingertips, along with, let's say, a Gantt chart specific for your program requirements. So basically, as I mentioned, there's those three projects, and you can have visibility in terms of where are we at right now, let's say where are we at in terms of other projects that are ongoing. So having that the ability to have all this information in one location, and kind of, let's say, filter out your data is rather important. So in terms of, let's say, taking a step back over here, something I wanted to quickly show you into as well was invoicing. So there are multiple ways we any type of billing process we are able to match, and we do have billing information directly within Mission Control, and what we're able to do is either send invoices directly from Mission Control, or we could push that information into your general ledger, through a connector, and basically have our systems act seamlessly together. Um, so let's say right now, if I go back to the project I had earlier, I did show you at the top of the project, I have a billable milestone. So meaning that whenever this action is complete, so let's say whenever I do get that coveted signature, we do create a billing event that's ready to be sent out. So let's say if I jump into the actual milestone here, we are able to, let's say I'll be seeing the status, because I've assigned this as a billable milestone for $5,000 by completing this status, by jumping back into the project, I've created a billing event. Going to billings, right over here, you see my billing event lives over here. By jumping into the actual billing event right now, I can see I have all this information. You are able to kind of create as much as you'd like. And even we do have a PDF creator, so you're able to send directly from here. My PDF is, I should have kind of created something a little bit deeper, but just to kind of show you what we do have at our fingertips. This is just kind of a super simple skeleton like invoice, but I have my signature ready for balance, and you kind of could create as much information as you need over here to send over to your customer, all branded with your information. So this is kind of, let's say, the ways we're able to interact with our customers. And before maybe I jump into some of the support and feature, other kind of, let's say, other high level information we have that kind of help you get integrated seamlessly with our solution. There we do have a lot of out of the box features for you to interact with your customer. So being able to express any one of these objects within your community portal, it's easy to set up. And we also have, let's say, project status reports directly within our platform. So let's say this could be used both internally or externally. So the fully could be fully branded, and you could leverage this, let's say for a weekly stand-up, and you want to have that kind of say have that visibility to share with your internal team, saying, "Hey, look, we got our signature. Is everything ready to get launched?" Pretty much you could use this as internal collateral, or let's say share this and really tailor down information here before you share it to send it off with to your customer directly through our control panel within our mission control console. So this is an amazing, easy tool to use. So it's always available at your fingertips. And maybe just before I jump off into go into the kind of say the high level information in terms of our support, we everything I've showed you today, we do have a robust tool, and there are many different ways to achieve the same goal. So, in terms of let's say creating a new action or creating a new role, whatever it is, instead of having to go into certain objects, we have our mission control console, which allows me to have quick access into anything within the platform. So we've kind of created these wormholes to make it easy for you to create a program, create a role, create a holiday, whatever it is easy for you at your fingertips. We also have a progress pad. So let's say if there's anything in terms of admin, kind of day-to-day progress, if there's any issues, risk, creating those issues are super easy to do from the progress pad. We have our management pad, which is a little bit more bird's eye view into like let's say admin. And we have a lot of front end configuration, which can be done directly from the control pad. So our tool is super easy and out of the box to use. And basically one of the reasons why is because we have this control pad, which allows you to edit information that typically on other solutions you might need to go into your Salesforce background and the setup and kind of let's say do some back end endeavors. But this is we try to keep it as easy and upfront for you as possible. So right now the idea is we're very easy and very accessible for if anybody wants to use our solution. Let's say if I were to show you right here, if you go directly into our App Exchange listing, we do have some amazing reviews. I suggest maybe you look into a few of these, but we also make it very easy for you to either to interact with our tool, download it into Sandbox, or even download it into production. So by clicking Try It Free, we do have a cloud-based version of Mission Control where you can interact with our solution and really kind of say it's a shared instance for you to kind of interact with Mission Control. But if you want to have this into your Sandbox, by clicking directly Get It Now, you will open up it will open up Trailblazer where you can download directly into Sandbox. And now there's kind of that idea of where if you do direct download directly into Sandbox, how do you create data? Do you have to create those roles yourself? No. Directly within our mission control console, go into the control pad and go to the bottom. We have a button where this allows you to create all the sample data you need to instantly get into the platform and start playing around with all the ideas, thoughts, milestones, all the intricacies you're seeing me play with today. You have access to do so within minutes as well. So we highly suggest that you kind of get your fingers dirty and enjoy playing around with our system. And we're always around to be able to help you, support you, answer any questions, and help your business grow. So even in terms of let's say getting into our sample data, we also have deep support, which I mentioned at the beginning of the call. So imagine anything in terms of training videos. Our customer success team and our PS team have created amazing videos beyond measure. So pretty much any concept, any idea you could think of, we have easy to comprehend, easy to digest, palatable, concise videos that help you kind of work through any ideas, concepts that you might get stuck at when you're alone. Look, again, we're always here to help you, but if you want to be a little more autonomous, you could just jump directly into these, and we have all these videos waiting for you. Within our knowledge base, so let's say if you have any questions or thoughts, you want a little bit more of a breakdown, let's say the object structure. Let's say if I want to look at Gantt, if I want to see information about Gantt charts. By searching Gantt, it's going to show me, let's say, a little bit of an overview of my Gantt chart, and then basically easy to digest collateral and kind of let's say how to interact with the Gantt chart, um, all the different buttons to make sure you do understand kind of say how to harness the full potential of the Gantt chart. So again, this exists for essentially every feature and object within Mission Control. And then we also have our user guide, which is a little bit more. Let's say if you do that, if you do download it in the sandbox and you kind of want those, kind of want help on getting started, this might be the best way for you to kind of say interact and do step by step into how to really get how to get the most out of your mission control trial or experience. With that being said, look, really appreciate everyone who joined on today. We are always excited to kind of have new conversations with either existing customers or curious onlookers, and really kind of say we really try to make it as easy as possible to work with us and our solution, and really kind of have that one single location for pursuit to delivery, and kind of keep your full operation directly on Salesforce. So, my name is Julian Ricciardi. Again, more than happy to have any conversations after the fact. So this is me and Cosmo signing out. Bye, guys.